Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders with a Heart podcast. They have another incredible, outstanding leader with a heart, my new good friend, Monika Krimendahl. We connected through an incredible community called the Serving Circle by our good friend, Tyson, which is all about entrepreneurs being of service and building impactful businesses. And it was meant to be that me and Monica, we connected because we're doing the same. And this podcast is not about me, but it's about her. She's an incredible human being, and we'll talk about that. And she's obviously doing a lot of tremendous impact to our Gold Rush Summit, which is all about they're helping entrepreneurs create purpose-driven businesses through training, traffic, and connection, and most importantly, through impact. This is what this podcast is all about. This movement is all about. So, Monica, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much, Payman. It's great to be here. Great to
Pleasure.
see you again.
Pleasure is all mine. Indeed, we had a very nice talk last week, and yeah, today we're gonna make the podcast. It's very fun. So before we start, who is Monica for people who don't know you?
Oh boy, that's a big undertaking. I'll make it as short as possible. I am a mother. I have three boys that I love with all my heart. Um, and I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. So I have started a couple different businesses, and my latest venture is digital marketing. And I own it with a co-partner, and we are digital marketing to help. We really are out here just to help other business owners grow their businesses. Sometimes when I started my first business, I didn't know so much. There's so much we don't know. And as a business owner, there's a I would say a foundation that we need to lay. And I did not lay that foundation clear and clean my first business, and it didn't work out as well as I would have hoped it did. And so now I'm hopefully training business owners how to really lay that foundation so that we can get ourselves to six figures so that we can give more to other people, because it's, for me, that's what it's really all about. How can we support others? How can we, I heard this somewhere, as the tide rises, all ships rise. So how
Absolutely,
do we rise that tide so that everyone has an equal playing field and anyone who's interested in growing a business and changing the world can do that?
I love that. We're gonna talk into that in a moment, but before that, as I said, I want to get to know the person at the heart level. So, Monica, what makes you happy?
I love traveling. I love
Mm,
meeting new people. I love getting out of where I am right now and going anywhere and seeing the world. That's part of what I absolutely love. I love good food. I love exploring other places and being in, I was in Spain, and just
oh, wow,
what do they eat in Spain, and yeah, I love new food, learning new things. I'm a serial learner. I would say education is really important. So constantly learning on all levels, not just on the level of what can I learn about something, but what
hmm,
can I really learn for growth and transformation. So for me, it's all about transformation, but it's a holistic transformation. What
hmm.
should I be eating that will help this body? This body may not need what your body needs. So what is it that I can do to help my body, my mind, my spirit, my emotions? Keeping everything in balance is really, really important to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. What makes you smile?
Oh my goodness. What? So much. I don't even know where to start. My children, I would say. Hanging
Hmm.
out with my boys and just giggling with my boys makes me smile. They're phenomenal boys, and they are growing, and it's so fun to watch them expand and watch them learn and be a part of their lives.
Absolutely, I love that. I once heard someone saying that our children are our greatest investment, greatest assets, especially seeing them grow in front of us, just like an investment. It's like absolutely beautiful, you know?
Yeah, it's a legacy. I mean, I get to
Absolutely,
leave behind these three boys, and I do think about
absolutely.
that regularly with what's occurring in our world. And I just had a couple of uncles who passed away, which really hit me. And I get to come back to, what am I leaving behind? What is it that people are going to say about me after I've left the planet? What are the things that are going to be said? And I want those things to be that I loved hard and I loved a lot.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk about legacy in a moment. Sorry to hear about your losses. I can feel your pain because I also my father just left us exactly a month ago. So and I told you last time. So I feel you. I feel you. I hear. But now they're in a much infinitely better place with freed from all their pain, all their worries, and an infinitely much better place. So
Totally.
I'm happy for them. So what makes you come alive?
Oh goodness, there's so much, but I would say transformation.
Mm,
I I don't love the breakdown before the breakthrough, like the storm
mm-hmm.
before the rainbow, but I know that I have to go through the breakdown to get to the breakthrough. And I love learning new things so that I can continue growing, because as I continue to grow, I my container stretches and expands and expands, and then I just become more and more and more free. So the more free I can be in my experience of my world and my experience of supporting others, it's amazing. I love it.
So that just made me have a question. So you said you love learning. What would you say has been the most important thing you've learned so far that's had the biggest impact on your life and business?
Biggest impact in my life and business. I would say right now, in this moment, now that's always changing. In this moment, it's that it's not ever about me. It's always
Mhm.
about someone else. And it is about a 20-year relationship. So as you and I
Absolutely.
are in conversations, and I'm in conversations with my clients and other people I'm meeting, it's about a relationship. There's no business without relationships. So I would say that, and that's what I love, because I love relationships. I love talking to people. I love learning new things about people. And so it's about relationships. How many relationships can we grow, and how many relationships can we impact in the world? And now with digital media and social media, and I mean, we can talk like you and I, we can talk to people anywhere in the world at any time. We don't
Absolutely.
have to be stuck to the location that we're in. The world is so big, and I just love learning about other people and the places they've been. And
Mhm.
you're a traveler, you've been all over too. So it's great to hear stories and experience life through someone else's eyes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And traveling is the best form of education. For me, traveling and sports are the two biggest schools of life for me, because it teaches you
Yeah.
the most valuable lessons. But that's the topic for another conversation. But so now, what makes you sad and angry?
I would say violence.
Mm,
People who are really violent to other people, and people who are not that they're purposefully mean, but violence is really, really hard for me. And people who know better, and they know they're manipulating, and then the people who are being manipulated, I feel bad for that whole situation. When people who know what they're doing are doing it consciously. I
absolutely.
understand if you're not conscious about what you're doing and you're doing something, but you don't really know what you're doing, it's different. But when you're consciously manipulating other people,
Oh, yeah.
that's not okay. That makes me really angry.
That's evil. Yes. That's the purest form of evil for sure.
Yeah.
What scares you?
Hmm. Maybe that sometime I will leave this planet before I'm done. I want to make a big impact. I want to see climate change. I want to see people open their hearts to each other and
Mhm.
not see color and not see anything other than someone else's heart. And in yoga, I'm also a yoga teacher. In yoga, we say namaste sometimes. Some people look at it as namaste, like goodbye, and other people look at it as, when I say namaste, I know that the one within me sees the pure one within you, and we are on the same plane, and we get each other, and we can get each other on that other level. And so I just want us to be loving with each other.
Absolutely. And that's probably the biggest lesson I learned in all my life after living in 10 countries on 4 continents. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, blue, green, purple, whatever, we all have the same red blood. We all have the same basic needs and desire, which is to be loved, to be respected, to be cared, to be given an opportunity to provide for our families. And that's the same basic, aspirations and dreams that everyone around the world has. Doesn't matter where you're from. So that's, yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Now, what is your personal superpower?
Ooh. Hmm. I have a lot of energy. I don't know where it comes from sometimes, but energy to let go of what was, look
Mm,
forward, and pull that future into the present moment. That's constantly looking at what am I creating in this moment? What are we creating? What is the purpose of the two of us to be here? The purpose is to help others and to support others in their growth, in their transformation, and being able to see that where I want to go and pulling it into my present and then see what's standing in the way. I'm not getting there. Okay, why am I not getting there? What is that about for me? What might be standing in the way? I love to dive into all the intricacies of all that. And so I would say part of the superpower is looking forward and creating and having the energy and having the space. Now as I have grown, I've expanded, and I want to help others grow.
absolutely. And would you say that the fact that you're all about service, about helping others and being of impact, is that giving you, would you say that is the source of all of your energy that's giving you even more energy? Or, because you have something so big, so beautiful that it almost automatically fuels itself?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that for sure. And the inspiration from
Mhm.
others and really listening to the inspiration for others. And then I would also say staying in balance. So
Mhm.
staying in balance in all those aspects we were talking about. So I meditate. I make sure that I'm walking, I'm doing yoga. I take my shoes off and walk on the beach. I eat healthy food. I eat as much vegan slash vegetarian as I can. I want to take care of the planet. I want to take care of my body. And so it's a holistic perspective of who inspires me in the food realm to take care of this being in the body that I'm walking around in, and who's inspiring me in my spiritual world so that I can grow, and so it's on all levels for sure.
Love that. Now, let me ask you some fun question. Remember when we were kids, uh, everyone asked us, whether it's parents, relatives, teachers. So, Monica, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer back then when you're say in primary school and maybe in middle school? What was your answer back then when people ask you, so what do you want to become when you grow up?
A teacher.
Wow.
I wanted to be a teacher. My father was a teacher. My mother was a teacher. I grew up in a lot of a family with that wanted to grow always and find another
Mm.
perspective and expand and grow. And I became a teacher. I went to college and became a teacher. I taught kindergarten to fifth grade Spanish for a
Oh,
while,
wow.
and I taught all kinds of different things. And then I became a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher. And then I became a massage therapist and a massage. I was in massage school to be a massage teacher. And now it's just about education. The more education we can get, the more opportunities we have.
Absolutely. Love that. Now, when you were in school as a kid, what was your favorite subject?
Recess.
Me too. With sports.
Gym. Yeah,
Yes.
sports. I'm a mover. I'm a goer. I'm a doer. I swam in college. I played soccer in college. I love exercise and I like
Mhm.
moving, and it's hard for me to just sit
Oh, I
still
can see
all
the
the
energy
time.
from you coming always almost, it's very contagious. That, wow, that's amazing. And what was your least favorite subject in school?
Math.
Me too. We're relaxed.
Yeah, yeah, those whole numbers and all that data and all
Yes.
that blah blah blah
Boring.
blah 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 blah. Just give me, yeah, whatever. It's
Exactly.
necessary. We need it.
Sure.
And I think it was my least favorite.
Yeah. That's why I guess that's one of the reasons why now when I'm on my business, I don't look at the number. I don't, when I set a goal, it's not about the amount of money; it's about the amount of impact. That's why maybe that's due to the fact that growing up in school, I wasn't very good in math. I didn't like math, so I don't know. Maybe that might be the cause of it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right. So now, looking back at your path from when you left school to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say it was once you get into one line, it was straight sailing, smooth forward all the way? Was it twist and turn along the way? So how would you describe your path from the moment you left school to now?
Crazy. Um, I would say I had no idea where I was going. I wanted to be a teacher. I was a teacher. So I was a teacher for a while, and I raised kids for a while. And then I got into meditation, and then I got into yoga after that. And then I got into, and I think I let the universe tell me what's next, and I just let it flow. So I would say there are moments where in that river that's never straight. The river's never straight. The river takes the path of least resistance. Sometimes I'm taking the path of least resistance, and sometimes I have great coaches who, are pushing the elephant up the hill, because I'm the elephant and I'm fighting and I'm like resisting, but I'm resisting growth sometimes. And I would say that the path goes all over the place. And when I can be in balance, when I can find that state of real balance, it's flow, and it's like the river. It goes all over the place, but it flows to the path of least resistance. And when I can get out of my own way,
Oh, yes.
like literally when I can get out of my head and be in that flow, oh man, the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely. You just read my mind and you made a perfect segue, because that was my next question, and I couldn't agree more with you when you said getting out of our own way. So I'm sure you're the saying, change your story, change your life. And by story, I mean what we keep on telling ourselves, the conversation we have right here all day, every day. So when you had to change your story, change your life, how did you do it? Did you do it through the help of friends, family, mentors, books? So how did you do it? How did you change your story to change your life?
Well, I'm a
And then
lifelong.
and in your words, how did you get out of your own way?
Okay. So how I changed my story was through coaching. I got a coach. I took some really amazing courses, and I am always reading and learning and following. I love to listen to Tony Robbins. I love to listen to inspirational people who lift me up and remind me what I'm really here for. So when I'm down, I can listen to that. I love to dance and move my body. And so when I'm stuck, I'll let everything go. I'll go outside, go to the beach and dance around on the beach, swim, whatever it takes to let it go, and then get out of my own way. And coaches really help me. I am never without a coach. I am never without, if you call it a therapist, for a while I had a therapist. For a while I had a meditation coach. For a while I had a yoga coach. So I had all these different people who supported me along the way. And so I would say they helped bring me to where I am now through listening and learning, and really, sometimes it's hard, but being coachable. They don't always know what's best for me, but they have tread that path already. So I'm in some sort of a class. I paid some sort of money to be in this class. For me not to listen to what they say and not to implement and take action afterward is great for that moment. But have you ever gone to that class and you're so inspired and you feel so good, and you go home and then life comes back in and you're back into life and you forgot you went to the class and you didn't implement what you learned? So it's great. And don't tell me, I wouldn't say it's bad to go to those classes, but the implementation and the actual, okay, somebody told me how to swim breaststroke. Well, now what do? Okay, you have to go do it. You have to practice it. You have to repeat it over and over and over and over again. So that would be the first part of the question. And what was the second part of the question? How did I get over it?
The first question was, how did you change your story to change your life? And the second was, just to rephrase what you were saying, how did you get out of your own way?
Yeah, I still get in my own way. So that's not done. I would say that there's still some of that. And I would say, in the same as I said before, sometimes, like when I'm down, to get out of my own way, when I really want to sit down and have a piece of chocolate cake, I'll have some hummus and apple instead, or hummus and carrots, or something that's healthy. Get out of my own way so that I can feed my body what it needs in that moment, instead of what my head says. You really want a piece of chocolate cake, or whatever that thing is. My thing's Reese's peanut butter cups. I love Reese's peanut butter cups. And I know that they're really, not helpful for my brain, for my body, so it's just a little thing, but just through coaching and through other people helping me see what it is that I'm doing. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, because I'm just doing it and I'm not in the flow. And so I do listen. And that's really key for me, is we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. So yeah, really listen to how what I'm saying is landing. Because whatever I'm saying, I could just be going wow, 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 and it doesn't mean anything. So I want to be that person that speaks and notices what's happening in the room, what's going on, and is it landing over there? And if it's not, then what do I do to help it land differently? So I've been trained in some of that. And so that's been really helpful for me to get out of my own mind, to get out of my own way. And it's not about me. It's about the
Yes.
greater picture. It's about the
Yes.
greater good. And when I'm rolling over in bed and I want to hit the snooze a couple more times, we have a world to change. So that's our team motto in our meetings. One of us will repeat, "We have a world to change," and then the rest of the team will repeat it afterward. So it's a really powerful for us to remember that this isn't just about us. We're not just one little ant. There's a whole boatload of people and a whole boatload of things that need to be changed, and that we can change, and we can give people more freedom and more freedom of choice, more freedom of opportunities. And we can all be the support for that change.
Absolutely. Wow. You dropped some major, gold nuggets. I love the fact that you said we have one mouth and two ears. That's one of my favorite things to say. If we need to speak more, maybe God would have given us three or four mouths. One here, one here, one here, one here, one maybe somewhere in the back here. That's why we need to listen twice as much as we need to talk. Another thing you mentioned is that we need to it's not about us. And also when one way to get out of my way, for example, when someone, makes me upset or pisses me off, whatever, I used to be very sharp tongued and that didn't go well in most cases. So I had to control myself. And one of the ways is lessons I learned around my life so far is ask yourself one question, because just like Tony Robbins always says, I'm a huge fan of it, says the power of asking questions, especially the right question. And the right question in that case is how, when someone says something not nice to you, how is this gonna how is this gonna benefit you if you were to reply back? Ask yourself that question. And then another thing is whenever someone says something nasty about you, whatever, count to 10. Take a deep breath and see after that if you still want to reply. And if you do, you will probably do it, but in a much more subdued way. So which will be less, So you think that I apply myself. Love what you're doing, what you're saying. So that's amazing. Wow. You mentioned
Yeah.
another thing that's really huge. You said the power of coaches. So for anyone listening here, and that's one of the major struggles for most people that get into the entrepreneurship path, including myself, is how do you find the right mentor? Because it's everybody claims to be a mentor, everybody claims to be a coach, but how do you find one that's actually legit, that is not yet? Because my understanding is for the coach to be really effective, has to be not a billionaire that is completely unconnected to you, but someone that's maybe one or two steps ahead of you. So how do you find a very good mentor that is receptive, that knows exactly what you're going through, that so they can learn from him or her? So do you have any tips for anyone right now that are just starting, that are in need of a good mentor, but don't know how to look for a good mentor?
I would say go online and look up coaches and just start looking at people's websites, looking at people's information, reading testimonials about what people have said about those coaches. And then do they have a one-on-one? Do they have a place where you can meet them one-on-one? And even before you do that, be clear. So I literally have on my wall right here, it says, what am I creating? It says it on my wall. What am I creating? What's my end goal? What are the steps? And what are the possibilities? The possibilities
Love
is
that.
huge for me, because if we take our past into our now, what do we
Mhm.
get? We get more of our past. If
Exactly.
we erase the whiteboard and take everything off the whiteboard, what's possible?
Anything.
Everything is
There's no
possible.
limit. Yeah.
Anything is possible. So to really be aware of, okay, what do you want to coach for? What
Mhm.
is it that you want to create? Then look for the coach, and that coach might actually find you somehow too. And when you find the coach, work with the coach and talk to the coach and ask questions. It's not just about the coach asking you questions. You get to ask the coach questions too, and wonder about, okay, now what? What do I need? What would you do? What are your strategies? Can I talk to a couple people who have been coached by you? What are the things that but it all depends on what it is you want to create, because not every coach is for every person.
I love that.
So another great way is to go to summits, go to virtual summits, listen to the people on the virtual summits, go to YouTube University is what I call it. Go to YouTube University, look up that coach. You found a coach. Somebody says, go to this person. Okay, well, why? Well, great. Look them up. See what you can find about them. Look on the internet. Do they have a YouTube channel? Do they have a Facebook channel? Do they talk anywhere? Have they given interviews anywhere? You'll know when you know who it is that should work with you. And if you don't like someone who drops the F-bomb left and right, that's not your coach.
Yeah.
And that's not wrong or right. It just isn't your coach. If you like somebody who drops the F-bomb regularly and you need that, then go for that. So it just really, you got to listen to yourself and say, okay, first of all, what am I creating? And what do I want to create? And where am I going with it? What is my end goal? And then what are the possibilities? And people will show up in your life. And you can even ask too. Ask other entrepreneurs who coached you. How did you get to where you are? What did you learn from them? And so that you know where you want to go.
That is so powerful. Especially love the fact that you say, you ask again, the power of questions, what I'm creating, what I'm doing here. And also when you said it's about put yourself out there, the coach will find you. And just like I shared with you last time, when you put yourself out there with genuine intentions, the right people will somehow come into your life. God is always, even though when you're starting something, no one is watching and listening, or you think no one is watching, but God is always watching you, listening to you, and He will bring to you the right people. And I see that unfolding in my own eyes, in my own life every day. It's absolutely the most incredible feeling. So yeah, so put yourself out there, say what you're looking for, and it's all about relating, because people love it's about vibration, frequency. You attract the right people to the right frequency to your life at the right time. And so I fully I used to think that this is all nonsense, but now I see it unfolding in front of my own eyes every day. I say, wow, this is absolutely mesmerizing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
is.
let's talk now about your business. Tell us about what you do.
All right. So we have a digital marketing agency, and it is called Blitz B, Blitz, and then with a capital BE. It's all smashed into one word because it's about balance.
Oh,
So
wow.
I am a to-do list girl, and I am fully aware of that. And sometimes I'm so in my to-do list that I'm not in my to-be list. And so I'm in that to-do, and I'm up here instead of in anywhere else. I'm just in my head. And then when I'm in that to-do list, I kind of lose like the real feelings and the heart of everything. And I lose, what am I creating? I get more into, oh, check the list off. What's next? I got 50 people to email back. What am I doing? So it's that blitz that meets the B, and the balance between who we're being while we're doing. So that's the name of our company. And so that was the basis of our company. We help with digital marketing. So we work on 4 basic levels. Where do you get traffic from? Bringing traffic to a business and all the different traffic sources. What's the best way to get traffic? How should your business get traffic? We create a blueprint depending on a business's goals and their idea of what it is that they want to create. And we look at social media. Where are you on social media? Where is your avatar on social media, which is even more important than where you are on social media? Because the people you want to attract, where are they? Where is that avatar? I've got my avatar on the wall. Her name is Julia. And I don't know where I came up with the name. It just came. But I look at, when I'm writing an email, when I'm creating a post, what would Julia want to hear? What is it that Julia, well, I have Julia and Stephen. So, because I have 2. So what is it they want to know? Where are they? Where are they? How can I speak to them? So that's all about, let's see, I said traffic and social media and reputation. I just had a meeting with a business owner, and they have 8 negative reviews.
Wow.
But they don't want to do anything about it. But they want to push their social media and push other things. And I'm like, you don't want to push a ton of people to your stuff if you have 8 negative reviews. You have to deal with the reviews first before you bring all kinds of people, because we just told you, go online, read reviews, check out what people are doing. Most people read reviews. So you
Absolutely.
want to make sure that you're collecting reviews and you're getting video testimonials and also written testimonials and review testimonials, same kind of thing. And then the last thing is a funnel or a website. When people come to you, what are you doing with it? How are they coming to you? Do you know how many people are hitting your landing page? Have you told people about your landing page? How do you bring people? Do you have a lead magnet? Those are some of the things that we talk about, and we want to help the business owner make sure they have those foundations in place.
Awesome. Love that. You mentioned something key. You said you know your avatar, Steve and Julia. Tell me more about Steve and Julia, and tell me what kind of businesses do you target? Do you specialize and focus on?
It depends on the product. So you have to look at what your product is. So when we're talking about digital marketing for a business owner, digital marketing, I would say, takes at least 3 to 6 months. So it's not going to be a quick, you can throw up a digital marketing and all of a sudden you're going to have $1 million. It doesn't work that way. You have to find your audience. You have to be able to talk to them. You have to get your message right. You have to get your photos right. You split test everything. So Julie and Steven are my avatars for digital marketing. So Julie and Steven are making approximately 6 figures already, or a little bit less. They're not a beginning business owner who doesn't have a budget. Because if you create your avatar to not have a budget, you're not going to have a business.
Exactly.
So many entrepreneurs have this really great heart thing that they want to put out to the world, and they're phenomenal at it. But they didn't look at, what's my marketing budget? How do I pay to get people to come to me? Or what is my marketing plan to bring people to me, even through organic traffic? Now, of course, organic traffic might take a little bit longer than paid traffic. So depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, that's what someone has to pay attention to. So Julia is a really smart woman. She's got a lot of gumption. She wants to learn. She's definitely coachable, and so Stephen, they're both coachable. So when we have conversations with them, they're coachable. And almost most importantly, they're integritous. They're integritous with their word, which means if we're going to have a meeting and I put it on my calendar and you put it on your calendar, unless something big comes up and you let me know, at least as soon as you know that something big comes up, then we'll not be on the calendar together at that moment. But I've had clients that cancel. So then it's about finding boundaries. All right, well, I guess we're not really good to work together then if you're not going to show up for the meetings, because I can't help you if you don't show up. So Julia, shows up and is really purpose driven. She wants to make an impact in the world. She knows what she wants to do. She's got some of those business minded foundational things already put in place, and she's ready to rock and roll. She just needs a little bit more education and some support, because she doesn't have a whole marketing team and she needs one. So she calls on us and we can help with that marketing and that foundation to help. She and Stephen is the same, but they're driven. They know what they want. They have coaches. They know where they're going, and they're willing to learn, and they're willing to show up when they need to.
Love that. Love that. That's probably the most precise, clear description I've heard on a podcast of the avatar. That's amazing. Good job. You've done your homework. That's good. And I can see now that you're able to really help your clients at a much higher and deeper level, because the moment, and that's one thing that I notice with people, is that they themselves do not have a clear idea of the avatar. I mean, I get it. A lot of people have, just like you mentioned, they have a beautiful heart. They want to help everybody with all the problems. But helping everybody with all the problems, that's something that only God can do. And me and you are not God. And so we need to focus on one specific person with a specific pain point. And that's very hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around that, because they come from a good place. They want to help. They have a good heart. But it's one thing to have a good heart, but another thing to be able to really pinpoint we want to help. Because again, we only have 24 hours and we only have just one person or team. And there's so much that we can do. So it's best to focus on just one thing. So that's amazing. That's awesome. Now, tell me about the process. So if someone wants to, for example, let's say that's watching right now and is interested in the service, tell us about the structure of your program. How would they benefit, and what is it? Is it like like um a series of videos? Is it like a one-on-one coaching? Is it a small class, big class? So tell us basically about the structure of your program, and how, if someone is listening right now that would be interested in, to basically answer the question, and so they can be very clear of how they can benefit from working with you?
Well, it depends on who they are. If they're a brand new business owner or they're fairly new and they haven't hit six figures yet, that's the kind of business I would send to our summit. We're on our second summit. And so this is the Gold Rush Summit 2.0. It's a movement that transforms lives. And we're transforming lives by helping entrepreneurs, bringing in the training, helping them with traffic, and helping them create connections with other business owners, with the people who they're looking to serve, and just creating those connections. So the next summit is coming up, and it is really about that purpose-driven business. And we have right now, we're not done with the summit yet, but we have 15 business owners who have six-figure businesses. One of them we just talked to the other day. She's got four six-figure businesses and one seven-figure business. So we're learning from people who know how to do it. And in this summit, that would be a place I would go if you don't, depending on your budget. If you don't have a ton of money in your budget for marketing, go to summits, go to things that don't cost very much money, look online, find as much information as you can, constantly put into your calendar, who am I learning from today? What is it I'm going to learn? How do I learn? Podcasts are great. YouTube videos are great. Where can you learn what it is that you want to learn without spending a lot of money if you don't have a lot of money? We also have a course that we teach. It's a master class, and it is about a business master class. So we're assisting the business owner in laying that proper foundation. So even if you don't have six figures yet, and that's what you still need, and you're going to six figures so that you can help impact more people in the world, you want to have the proper foundation or the business will fall apart. So the class is online and it meets once a week. And then we hold the business owner's hand through all the steps. We have work that they'll do in class, work that they do out of class. And then we have, so it's a one-day class, one evening class. And then we have a group that meets to answer questions and ask other questions. And we're available also. And we do coaching. And then we also do just talk through their strategy. Each person who takes the class will leave with their personal blueprint, depending on where they want to go, depending on who their avatar is, depending on what their why is, because that's so important to know what their why is. So we move them through that whole process with coaching, with help. And but that's not, again, none of the programs and none of the things that we offer are for people who want to just sit on the couch and have it done for you. This is you've got to have some drive. We want to help you know that your why, so that when you want to roll over and hit snooze again, you remember, oh yes, I'm not here to sleep for another hour. I am getting up and I am going because I got to know my why. And I've got it written on my wall that we're helping other entrepreneurs. And I want to focus on what everyone is creating so that we can bring a bigger, broader brush to what everyone is creating so we can help more people and we can raise that tide together.
Love
And
that.
so that's a lower end. So if you're beginning business, or you're not to six figures yet, but once you get a little bit higher and you have a little bit of a marketing budget, that's when you could call us and we could do marketing for you. And then we have a team who will create ads, who creates emails, who creates all the things that we need, funnels for marketing. And we could talk through that also. So it just depends on the budget, depends on where a person is as an entrepreneur. And we want to be able to serve all the way along there to be able to have offerings for everyone at whatever stage they're at.
So let's say Steve or Julia is watching right now. What kind of budget would they need to have to be working effectively with you?
I would say at least a good, depending on how fast you want to grow. The less money you put in, the slower you grow. Faster you grow. I would say about $2,500 a month is the low end. So thinking through, when I get to $2,500 that I would have a month for 6 months, then you want to hire a marketing company to be able to support you, because then you can go do what you need to do. And so you can stay in your lane and then let other people help out where it's not your lane. I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur who spent, I want to say she spent 90 days working on a funnel, working on her landing page. She didn't make any money. She was working on her funnel, and we were talking, and about how my team could make that in a couple weeks for her, depending on what she wanted and how intricate it is and how much it is. Then we talked about how much it would cost. And she thought, oh my gosh, I'm trading my time for money when I could be outsourcing some things. Go to Fiverr, go to Upwork, go to other places where you can outsource what it is that you need. So you stay in your lane of what you do really well, and do what you do really well, and allow others to support you in doing what they do really well to help you out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us about an example of the most remarkable transformation you've seen from one of your clients going through your program, whether it's a Steve or Julia, whether it's someone going through the summit. And we're going to talk about the summit because that's something I'm very interested after. But so share with us the story, an example of the most remarkable example of transformation you've seen from one of your clients so far.
Oh my goodness. I would say it's really, really hard at first to be in this first business. So we have someone who was in there. They wanted to grow so bad, and they had already thrown a lot of money at the business. But when we looked at the business plan and we talked through the why and we talked through their avatar, they really realized they were talking to the wrong people, and they were trying to reach everybody, and they wasted a lot of money trying to reach everybody. And once they were able to hone down that message, be super clear about who they were talking to, within probably weeks, they started to see their email list grow. They started to see more clients coming in for one-on-ones. Okay, can you be my coach? Will you help me? Will you do this? Will you do that? And so the business actually began to grow once the business owner got clarity. Because when we're not clear, the universe is like, what do I bring you? You don't even know what you're saying to me. Okay. But once she got clear about, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is who my heart really wants to serve. This is what I really want to do. All of a sudden, emails start coming in. People she needed to connect with came in, and the clients began to come also. And so it was just beautiful watching that unfold as she transformed herself, because there were mindset things in the way. Her head was in the way. And just seeing that, oh my goodness, you can try this, you can try that, you can try this. There is a part of that has to occur so that we continue to learn. But it never stop. Keep practicing, keep trying, keep looking at what's the next thing. Then if that didn't work, is it that it didn't work because I didn't do it properly? Because I didn't do it long enough? Because I didn't do enough data collection on it? Or some of it is measuring our actions. So being able to look at, what am I doing? And okay, I've got this email campaign going. I've got this landing page. I have this lead magnet. I have 4 different landing pages. Well, which one is bringing in the most traffic? Kill the rest of them. I hate that, kill your babies, but there is a part of that where we need to be one lane focused until you have enough money and you've got enough resources to then do something else. Figure out and measuring the results. Once she was able to measure the results, measure her actions, now she then was able to see, oh, I see the growth now. And, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years of spinning and just not sure where to go and what to do and trying all kinds of things, but not having that clarity.
Love that. Love that. Wow. Now let's talk about, the theme of this podcast is leaders with a heart. That is, people are building impactful businesses. For me, as I told you, I'm launching soon a product on Kickstarter, and for each unit I will be selling, I'll be donating a pair of eyeglasses to someone that needs it but cannot afford it in India. What would you say for you, Monika, is a cause that you're deeply passionate about?
I would say helping others. So we help people who help people. So if a business owner is just about money and the bottom line and driving that bottom line, I'm going to let them go as my client, and I'm going to let them find someone else who wants to. There are people out there, no problem. I have nothing against it. It's not a problem if all you want to do is make money to make money. And I have a bigger vision. I see the world as needing support. So if I'm just all about me making money, that's not going to work. So I really, 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 we want to help people who help people. So in all of our summits, every speaker that we put on stage is someone who's helping people, someone who either has a business that is strictly about but creating tiny homes for the homeless, or feeding the children who don't have any food. They go to school and they've got breakfast and lunch, and they go home and have no dinner and nothing on the weekends. So one of our speakers has Serving Our Kids, and he created that organization to help kids. And so our focus is to help business owners who help business owners who help other people, so that we can be in there helping everyone. And I really, my dream is to make some money, so that we can then have choices about what we do with that money. I don't want to make money to make money. I don't need a mansion. I don't need an airplane. I don't need any of that. I don't need a big yacht. So it's more for me about, when I have the resources and I have the money, I can give away, or I can pay my employees way more than the average person is getting, because we are making enough money to be able to pay our employees. We're making enough money to be able to create a fund so that our employees' children can go to college. We can create, some of our employees don't have their own homes. Well, we want to be able to buy a home for them. We want to be able to have them in a place of their own. And so it's really about, how much can we do to help others? And the currency is just money. It's a currency. It's an exchange of energy.
I love that. And I'm so in line with that. Exactly what I'm doing. It's all about the impact. I'm not interested in this, like you said, a mansion, a yacht, anything. It's all about the impact. And not only impact, but also creating jobs. For me, I'm an e-commerce guy. My ideal life is to travel from country to country looking for exotic, unique product that are traditional, and then bring them to the world, and while creating jobs for the local people that normally would not be able to get jobs, like, let's say, I don't know, widows or single mothers or single fathers, or or handicapped people that normally would not be able to get a job, but give them an opportunity, and not just pay them pennies, but pay them more, twice, three times what they could get in a normal place. That's my ultimate dream. And not only that, but also giving them an opportunity to make a difference for them as well, because once you help someone, give them hope, inspire them, that's all. My branding is all about 1 + 1. 1 + 1 is not 2. In math it might be 2, but in real life 1 + 1 is 11, because when two people come together in the same vision, put their effort, energy, resource, everything, it becomes 11. It exponentially explodes. So even no matter how much you might have right now, if you put yourself with someone with the same vision, that can exponentially, you know explode your reach. And that's what I'm trying to do with what I'm doing here. So I love that. I love that. You're
That's
an angel.
beautiful.
You're an angel. You're a true leader with a heart.
So are you. I love it. I love what you're up to
Thank you.
too. It's amazing.
Thank you. What would you say is I was just watching this morning an amazing, as I told you, I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins. I was watching one of his videos with Louis House, an amazing, uh, YouTuber. And one time he asked Tony, "What's your definition of greatness?" Tony's answer just blew my mind. He said, let me just read it to you. I don't want to butcher it. He said something like, greatness, where is it? He said something along the lines that greatness is about being of service, about helping others, something along those lines. And I said, wow, coming from a guy like him, it's really powerful and really. So, and what would you say, Monica? What is your definition of greatness?
Oh man. I would say along the same line, someone
Mm,
who, like Mother Teresa, it's not about me. It's not about what I'm doing, or even the doing of anything. It's about the being of it. Someone who can really embody consciousness and be in that greatness, and give it away for free. And so and when people come around that person, like when people are around Tony Robbins, you're just lifted up. When you watch those videos, it lifts you up. And there's an energy that he does. He takes really good care of himself. And it's that greatness that we can all achieve, and knowing that we all have that greatness in us. It doesn't look like Tony Robbins or Mother Teresa necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
and that greatness is in all of us. And
Absolutely.
I think the definition, I don't know about a definition, but always striving and looking at, okay, what might not be working in my life? What
Mm.
can be transformed so that I have a little bit more freedom, so that I can help a couple more people? Because it's like that starfish story. The girl's walking along the beach. There's thousands of starfish. She chucks one in, another one in. And the guy walking down the beach says to her, "Why are you throwing that one starfish in?" She says, "You know what? It matters to this starfish. I might not be able to throw all thousand of them in, but it will matter to this one." So just like reaching one person and supporting one person when they need you can be that ripple effect, like you said, the one to one, and be 11. Because when you help me, or when I help you, you're not the only person in your world. We don't live in a little bubble. We live in a world with other people. So as I learn more, and as I help other business owners to grow, they grow their businesses, their community grows. The more we can each touch our communities, even right here. We don't need to leave our hometowns. We can help people right here on the in the same town that we're in. We don't have to go to India. We
Absolutely.
don't have to go far away. Who can you touch? And that's where the greatness comes, when we can touch more lives in love and humility, for sure.
And you know what? Another thing that I noticed is that sometimes things that we not even think twice about it, that we for us is completely insignificant, can have a tremendous effect on someone else. Just a simple hello, how are you doing? How's your day? Next time you go outside and you see someone, say an homeless, someone looking down, don't just ignore them. Just say, hey, how are you? How's your day? What's going on? What's your name? Just for you, for you it might be nothing, but for them it might be probably the only interaction of the day with someone. Next time you go to a store with a cashier, hey, what's your name? How's your day? How's your weekend? You know, they will remember that. So it's all about smiling and bringing a smile to someone and uplifting them. It's all about, just like you said, helping them to raise and to inspire them. So that's all about. Yeah, love that. Wow. Okay. Now let me ask you now some fun questions. Imagine now that you're blessed with a time machine, and you can go in time, and you can sit face to face with your 18-year-old self. What would be the number one piece of advice you would give to yourself, knowing all that you know now? Advice you would give to your 18-year-old self, knowing all that you know now?
Oh, I've had this question before, and I get a little nervous about it, because I know that if I told my 18-year-old self something and it changed the trajectory, I wouldn't be who I am now, because I learned all those
I agree.
lessons that I needed to learn when I needed to learn them. So even though there was some suffering, even though I created messes all around me sometimes, I learned from it. And so it was a learning. But if I did talk to my 18-year-old self, I would say, um, don't take yourself so seriously. Have fun, giggle more, love harder, love more, and I don't know how to say this. It's on the tip of my tongue. Be super integritous.
Mm,
Just move from integrity and practice.
absolutely.
Integrity is a practice, and
Hmm.
really, yeah, and read more books, and just read. At 18, had I read the books that I've read now, it might have changed the trajectory, which we don't want to do, obviously, because we're right where we need to be.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Love that. Do you have your own podcast?
we don't. We do have a couple of our YouTube channel that we talk on, and we introduce and interview
Okay.
purpose-driven business owners on.
Awesome. Now imagine that you have your podcast, a very successful podcast, and today you have the most amazing, the most special guest, which is yourself. You're interviewing yourself. What would be the first question you want to ask yourself? Don't think too much. What is the first question that comes to your mind?
Oh my goodness, what are you creating?
And what's your answer?
Um, a world in which everyone is equal, and everyone has the same opportunities, and we can all work together in
Mm,
integrity and in love.
love that. And do you have any parting tips for anyone watching right now?
Have fun. Don't make it so serious. Find times to giggle,
Mm-hmm.
create things to giggle about and laugh at yourself too. Because for me, sometimes I get too serious and then the energy stops that flow when I get too serious. So don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy the process. Find the coaches that you need when you need them. And don't be afraid to try new things. Reach outside your box and continue that growth of transformation for yourself.
Awesome. And finally, one last question, a little bit personal. Do you have any tips for me to improve my podcast? Any tips that you can give to me on that end? Because I always want to learn from the people because you need a fresh pair of eyes sometimes. So any tips?
And you're talking about just the podcast experience, or are you talking about marketing the podcast, or like what? Bring me to a little bit, give me a little
Actually,
bit more definition.
actually, all of that.
Um, okay, so my recommendations for podcasters is to get big people on your podcast and ask them to share with their audience. So we want to join in with other business owners who are really doing a great job, and then get their insights and get their information from them and have them on your podcast so that they then can share you, so that you're seen next to people who people know, and then you'll become known also from that. So it's kind of like using other people's stages. Find other podcasts you can talk on, find other places where you can speak and you can find your voice for sure. I
And
think, oh, go ahead.
and that's an awesome suggestion. When you're just starting out, how do you go about finding big people and convincing them to come to your podcast?
You create a list. So we
Mm.
call it our golden 100. So you go out and you look on the internet and you find people that you want. Who do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to Tony Robbins? Put him on your list. Do you want to talk to whoever it is that you want to speak to? Put them on your list and begin contacting them. Okay, so you send them an email. Then you go to their page and you subscribe to their newsletter. Then you go to their Facebook page and you start commenting. Then you go and you send them a personal message on LinkedIn. Then you send them a message on Facebook. And you, if it's someone that you want to talk to, you continually look at how can you enroll them into coming. So what's in it for them? So it's not like I want you on my podcast so I can get bigger. It's not that.
Sure,
It's
sure.
what can you do? So when we look at talking to speakers and to have them come into the Gold Rush Summit, there's a lot for speakers in the Gold Rush Summit. Any summit that you can get on, you've got a stage, you can get more people to see you, you can get your message
Sure.
out farther. And really the point is to help more people. So the more people you can help, the louder your message can get. So using other people's stages, other people's emails, working with other people and creating collaborations with other people so that you can help yourself grow and they can grow and everyone gets grow, just like we talked about raising that tide
Mhm.
so that the tide rises all ships. So working with other people for sure.
Love that. Thank you. That's absolutely golden. I will definitely rewatch this podcast and take notes. So thank you for that. Now, if anyone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to do so?
Um, I don't know how you do this, but you can put some links into the Gold Rush
Yes.
Summit 2.0.
Yeah, okay.
And that is free. It's September 15, 16, and 17, and it's free. If you pay for the $67 upgrade, you get a VIP pass, then you can get 15 extra interviews with the speakers talk once, and then they have another interview. And the free one only gets the first interview. The VIP pass gets you to the second interview also. And you can watch them over and over again. So it's like that, like reading a book. You read the book, and then 5 years later, you read the same book and you're like, wow, or I should speak for myself. I'm like, wow, I don't remember seeing all that because
Absolutely.
I've changed. I've transformed so the information comes in differently after I've changed and learned more. Different things in the book become more important. So $67 is what it costs to get into the summit ahead of time. And so I would do that personally because that's the kind of learner I am. I like to re-listen and take notes and pay
Mhm.
attention. So the Gold Rush Summit is a way to get in and get more information. The masterclass, I can give you the link to the masterclass,
Yes, please.
the Gold Rush masterclass, so we can give that link out. And then LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. My email is Monika, Monika, at Blitzbee Market or blitzbee.com. So that's another
Okay.
way people can
And
get in touch
Blitzbee
with
is
me.
BLITZBEE, right?
Just one E.
Oh, one E.
BLITZBE.
All right. You guys say Z, we say Z, so it's the same thing. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Okay, well, Monika, listen, we can talk for hours. You're a phenomenal leader, a person, but most importantly, an enlightened soul. I love what you're doing. Love your energy, your passion. Your energy is almost contagious. That's why I'm always sitting back because I'm always, ready almost to jump. You're phenomenal. I love what you're doing, especially with the Golden Rush Summit. I'll definitely gonna enroll and do that myself. I'm looking forward to that, and I'll share that with other people. Anyway, I can help. I'm here because I love what you guys are doing, and that's my way to give back as well. So thank you. God bless. I salute you. You're a true leader with a heart, and we'll stay in touch. And yeah, have a wonderful day, my friend. Take care. Bye bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.